Testing, testing, testing. Here it is, here it is. Here's that story I was looking for. Hey, you will make your TV followers, viewers, supporters, and listeners across the globe. Thank you for tuning in to another live stream topic here with your very own and favorite Arthur Tertiary. If I'm not your favorite yet, stick around for a minute, hit that subscribe button, tune into previously recorded segments just like these, and find out why more and more people are subscribing to us every day. We share inspirational quotes, insightful topics, and divine messages weekly. You're always welcome to come in and tune in to Insightfulness when maybe you're just on your way to work. You can put us on your loudspeaker in the car, watch us on the phone. And what's great about a lot of my content, you don't even have to, you know what I'm saying, watch it per se, like videos or stuff like that. And being, while I speak on that, being a publisher, independent publisher, that is something for people to remember. Like, not all content is just videos and, those type of caption edits. Audio is still content. That's why audio books and audio materials are still pretty much relevant today. A lot of people actually prefer audio content. So I love what we've been kind of filling out and checking out here at You Will Make It TV. We want everybody who comes and tune in here to feel comfortable, safe. Definitely try to create a safe space where we can speak our thoughts, opinions, and views, without harm. So that's what this hub is. We ask you or encourage you to become a subscriber. This way you receive notifications every time we go live, okay? Not just live, but every time we post new content is what I meant to say. But we appreciate you guys' support. There was just another viral story here that had caught my attention. Who cares about what catches my attention though, right? But trust me, if you knew me, if it catches my attention, because I don't know, I don't even want to speak on that. But it's crazy because I do have an Egyptian name, so it's a lot of reasons that this story caught my attention. I started thinking like Indiana Jones, the movie The Mummy, several movies that like, because I'm not trying to be funny when I say this, but like, I don't know if people thought these were just movies, and I think it's worth speaking on because you want to see people come back home safe after vacations and things like this. Because, when you go on vacation and you travel the world, we encourage that a lot on my channel. We did other segments where we talked about this. Just my opinion and commentary about how it does actually pay you. I know you pay to go on vacation. You're the one spending money, but it pays you to learn about the places, the people, as much as you can learn about a area, a space, a community before you even go there. Now, I am guilty of maybe going places before I even did a more thorough search or background of a place, and maybe one day that'll show, maybe it won't. But what should also show is that when we know better, we do better, okay? So why would you just get up and hop and go on another vacation or just move any goddamn where when you know you did that the last time, or you seen another story on the news to what happened to the last person? I'm just giving my open thoughts and opinions about this. Because people think the only tragedy that can happen when you go on vacation is other unfortunate events. You feel me? But really, reality is showing us through more and more TikTok stories and stuff. It's not just like predators and wolves and sharks that you have to worry about when you go on vacation. Apparently, you also have to. How do I want to say this? Apparently, you also have to be a little more mindful because, souvenirs have been known. People bring souvenirs home all the time. They might want to bring home a seashell from the beach, a little crab necklace from the island. But to end up picking up a piece of a pyramid from Egypt, this story definitely caught my attention. Like, what? All right. I don't know why they be choosing my lives to come on here and say something crazy, but it is what it is. Somebody said I am a what? Anyways, ignore all crazy comments in the chat, okay? Because we're here to talk real business. You don't want to be one of those streams they go back to later and be like, wait a minute, that lady might have had a point, right? So, uh, I said I thought about the movie The Mummy because y'all know when they went in there in those pyramids trying to steal artifacts and jewels and treasures, you know, because to an onlooker, these things look like treasures. It's not theirs, it's not yours. But with this story, I see how it was harmless because we all want to bring back a souvenir. When you go travel or like visit a place, don't you? You want to bring back a souvenir. And then I think with this story, it was a child. Like, just imagine visiting a place and your child brings home something that you didn't know they brought home. And it ends up like actually having some type of effects on the family. Because from what I was reading, this mother says they were experiencing all kind of misfortunes. Even before she knew, like, why. Just imagine it. And I don't know why people think people wouldn't notice that. Like, if you just start having misfortunes, why would you think a person don't wouldn't notice that? Because this young man's mother did. I mean, because if it's a real misfortune, it can't be missed. Missed. There's no way you can overlook or miss. You know, accidents happen and coincidences happen, but a whole misfortune, that's not something you can overlook. Things like people suddenly get fallen with grave illnesses. Your money just goes haywire because most people keep up with their money, let's be honest. So the average person would know how much they usually, not even just how much, they know their ability to make money. They know the strings to pull. They know what they can do to go make money. The average person is what I said, okay? If anybody wants to be a donor, I don't know who this is in the comments asking that, but we share our cash app all the time, $ poetic quote. Okay? Uh it's spelled just how it sounds, poetic quote. And we also want to mention that for anybody willing or wanting to know more information, we are still accepting coats and jackets for our 2025 coat drive. Okay. You can email me at justjackets@gmail.com. But this stream tonight is not about that. This stream, I'm just trying to break the ice a little bit with my intro because I had to teach on it and touch on it. I don't know why you think you would send. We're not. I mean, because misfortunes to me come into people's lives all kind of different ways. But I was talking about the difference between coincidences, circumstances, accidents, and whole misfortunes. I mean, do we even care anymore? And a person come to me and say, "Look, Miss Whitney, I had a misfortune." That's not a word that you use lightly. I think a person is able to tell if they're experiencing like weird misfortunes. It's called a misfortune for a reason. If you were fortunate, you wouldn't be going. If your circumstance was so fortunate, you wouldn't be calling it a misfortune. Okay. So I love how this lady took the time out to go ahead and share her experience or what she felt like she experienced because they brought something home, not just from a third world country, but from a whole ancient site. And it wasn't her that brought it. Like I said, the whole thing about the story is crazy to me because kid could pick up a random souvenir and think that it's innocent and bring it into your home, fly back on an airplane with you, come back on a cruise ship with you. It's so many things we have to be aware of when we travel and go on vacations and stuff. It's not even funny, bro. People think that the only thing you need to pay attention to is vultures and wolves and robbers and thieves. Obviously, you also have to pay attention to not touching things that don't belong to you. Most souvenirs are sold anyway, but we know that like a kid wouldn't understand it. They found a nice shiny rock around the pyramid of Giza and they think it's okay. They just want to bring home a souvenir. You know, this story is kind of sad to me actually. Because if y'all go look this story up yourself, I think the young man who brought that piece home, like the one who actually brought it home, I don't even think he's. Let me go click on his story. I think he lost his life, y'all. Like he's not here no more. So would you call that woman crazy if she feel like a piece of stone that they brought from the pyramid of Giza? Uh, you would say that she's crazy, or that what happened to her is circumstantial or coincidental? I guess they asked her, well, what? And when she tried to go to a spiritualist, well, try to think back on something that you might have done lately. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, if a misfortune is noticeable, that's a good thing to me. It's when it seems undercover or covered up that when you can't do nothing about it. And the average person could tell if, like, just sudden, random, horrible misfortunes start happening to them. Let's be honest. That's why it's called a misfortune. For example, this article published by MSN, I'm just gonna read a few excerpts from it here. Okay, the title here, and it says this was posted 5 days ago. Today's date marks 11/19/2025. By the way, happy Wednesday to everybody out there. It says Great Pyramid Piece cursed. That's what this article says. Cursed with a question mark. Family says son's theft in Egypt brought misfortune. And this is so sad. Everything about this is sad to me. It goes on to say that many believe that taking even the smallest piece of the ancient wonder can bring misfortune. Period. What else is there to say? It's up to people themselves on an individual level if they choose to uh, believe in what they call fairy tales and fables and ancient folklores. You can call it that if you want to. You won't be able to call what I see happening. Everything that's considered a folklore or myth, we're going to find out real soon. I just wouldn't want to go playing with my life to find out. It's just crazy. Um, Many believe that taking the smallest piece from the ancient wonder can bring misfortune. A curse said to protect the resting places of Egypt. Egypt's pharaohs and preserve. Let me keep going. Hold on, my screen went out on me here. Uh, Preserve their legacy from those who dare to disturb it will suffer misfortune, illness, or even death. One family in the U.S. claims to have experienced this quote unquote curse after their son stole and brought home a piece of the Great Pyramid during a trip. Now his mother is making an effort to return it. So that's a great update. I'm not even trying to be funny. Some in the viral story that she was sharing, I was looking at some of the comments, and she was showing that she was trying to go ahead and mail it back over there, but some were saying she shouldn't mail it back. She should go take it in person. So I don't know what the update is. I'm finna keep reading. I think the update that I saw was that they have decided to go return it in person. And maybe they seem small to people, but I guess you should return things just how can I say that? Like you should return it in the same way that you took it. It's only right if you care about the ancient. It's so many people. I want to speak on it too. You notice how trending Egyptian history seems to be all of a sudden? Egyptian worship, Egyptian culture, Egyptian. I'm not here to say anything negative about it because guess what? Miss Arthur Teta Sherry's name is Egyptian. And I've Googled the meaning of my name in like many different languages, you know what I mean? But I'm not here to talk about that today. It was just like I felt this story for some reason. Like, uh, Because if people research and have a great love for Egypt history, I mean, so much so to go even visit there, to even go on vacation there, to even, come out on TikTok and Instagram and show the fun you have there and stuff. Because it is, I'm sure, a beautiful place with lots of great, rich history. And when I say rich, we mean literally. I don't know who's maybe that's why people are so obsessed with their ways and how they used to operate and stuff like this. But guess what? How can you say you respect Egyptian history and you stealing from Egyptians or anybody with an Egyptian name? It makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense. You actually go against everything Egyptians stood for back then. Because I'm not going to say they were thieves, but when I read Egyptian history, it looks like they pretty much worked hard and built and discovered things on their own. I didn't never read that in Egyptian history. I'm not saying that they were perfect, but you don't just see every day that they were going out there stealing from people. If you're going to try to reincarnate Egyptian history anywhere, that has to go. Robbery and theft. Robbery and theft has been here since the beginning of time, though, sadly. When I think about this out loud, you know what I'm saying? It really has been here since the beginning of time. You've had thieves, you had robbers, murderers, every kind of crime they do today, they exist. Now, I am aware of that. I'm talking about when it comes to like the belief systems and the religions and the things that circulate this. It's about time I give my open thoughts about this, like, because maybe somebody can relate to how I'm feeling and thinking. But it's like you want to be everything like them people. You want to worship the gods they worship. You want to do everything like them, but like deep inside, I mean, you say you believe in the Maya God who actually brought the balance to justice and truth and everything and weighing the hearts of real individuals after death. But like what are if you really believe these Egyptian gods are real and ancient, why would you even I'm not talking about this specific family. I'm talking about anybody. Not this family I'm talking about on the live tonight that this article is about. Anybody. People have such an obsession with Egyptian ancient history to me, and they still disrespect it. You can't respect and disrespect anything at the same time. You got to make it make sense at some point, and I am aware. Me of all people. But notice I said at some point. Sometimes I'm so busy reflecting on my life, I really don't have time to like respond to everything. Literally. I actually put the time in to like assess my life more than people think. And you could be doing it, and that will have you come across things that you didn't know about your own life. And then people will sit there and try to judge what you do about it, how you move forward, and everything else. But they say they research Egyptian gods and leaders and kings and queens. If you think you could tell a king or queen what to do back then, you're crazy. Even Moses himself needed the help of God to stand against Pharaoh. It's not a thought that he thought of on his own. It's not, and it's not a game to me. I don't know why people don't believe the story of Moses and the children of Israel and all of this is real, but they want to believe in everything else pertaining to Egypt. Except the same Most High God that brought his people out of Egypt so many times. That part of Egyptian history is just as real. Now, I'm not trying to take the stream and turn this into a what you would call a godly segment and start preaching. I'm saying, like, if you really believed in them people culture and how they used to live, why you don't know that they used to say sacred prayers over their riches, over their items, over their personal items when they bury people? Like, what? And of course, it had to be like, it shouldn't matter, but it had to be what? An American family who brings home a object from one of the pyramids, and then that's just a strange way to me to find out that what the people of Egypt stood on back then, I don't think it's to be played with. I don't think this is like any other thing that people play with, Ouija boards and everything else. You see? And well, life always has been the best teacher. You can run your mouth all day long, or you can shut up and continue to let life be life and let it teach people on its own. Maybe I'm more of a firm believer in that too because it worked for me. Every life experience I leave with just another nugget, golden nugget of knowledge. Not from somebody and what they told me. I can talk about that too. How much people have taught me in life. But life itself, I would just feel like God to not mention how life itself taught me more than anybody can ever teach me, bro. How to respect the ancients, even if I don't believe what they believe. It don't mean it wasn't real. It's something real to it. The movie The Mummy, part one, two, and three, was a $1 billion box office movie. Like people were obsessed with Egyptian stuff then when that movie came out. So y'all just look at that as entertainment. You think you can go over there and touch these people's stuff when you done had movies like Indiana Jones and everything, 007 even, where agents gotta step in because people don't understand. Because, some things, when you touch it, you don't even know what you're unleashing. Not just on yourself, but to like innocent people. That's crazy. We appreciate you guys' support so far. I'm going to keep reading from this article. I'm kind of like giving my commentary and reaction while trying to keep the facts relevant of this story at the same time. Make sure I'm touching on it. But I just can't believe that people see. I didn't use the word stupid, dumbfounded. That's not what I'm saying. It just seems like people do not understand. I guess I wouldn't say that religion is forbidden from anybody. But this is why it's important that you do respect. If you're going to get into any one of them, any kind of spiritual practice, or research the history of some of these ancient gods or pharaohs and what they do, how they practice, because everybody has like a whole different type of ceremony, for example, or ritual, if you want to call it. Like their culture does different things when it pertaining to death, death, and life. Some cultures, they have whole christening ceremonies or baptism ceremonies or different things just when a new baby is born. Some people, they even sacrifice the baby soon as the baby's born. Literally, this goes back to ancient times. And then they have things they do for marriage. Everybody's marriage ceremonies doesn't look the same across the world. This is basic 101 that you got to appreciate. Not just say, oh, I wanted a thrill, so I wanted to do something different just so I can say I did it. Now you did it, then what? You don't want people to see the after effects of what you did? Some things are just, I did a quote the other day. I said, God will take you from forgotten to forbidden. And what I meant by that is usually forbidden means not to be touched. Forgotten, anybody feel like they can touch you. Anybody, they forgot you wouldn't, they don't even care about touching you. They forgot, you're forgotten. But forbidden for sure means untouchable. Not in a sense of power, but I guess if you want to look at it like that, forbidden is like a whole warning. How is that word alone not a warning? It's one thing to see a caution sign on something, like when you go out to some of these great national parks where there's wildlife and they say, hey, don't touch, don't, or it might have a caution sign or a danger sign. Do people even pay attention to those anymore? Talk about a great mystery. I feel like that's going to continue to get mankind in trouble. Like, some things are giving the reverence and title of mystery for a whole reason. And then I feel like it's so deep that some mysteries, they have certain timings to be revealed. Some mysteries are just to never be revealed. If you agree, hit the like button. I'm just kind of giving my opinion. Whether you hit the like button now or after we post the stream, it doesn't really matter. But I just asked that rhetorically, like, do people even pay attention to caution, danger, or forbidden signs anymore? You know, like a place like America, you might not see something that says forbidden, but it might say classified, it might say caution, it might say warning, it might say danger. And it's like the generation, let me stop using the word society, but this generation is really crazy. Like, that's the things they want to go after. The things that say caution, mystery, uh, do not touch. That's what they want the most. If that's not an exhibition of greed, I don't know what it is, you know? Because it makes you wonder, like, if somebody brings their home on accident, like a child just trying to bring home a souvenir, he brings their home on accident and his family starts to experience, you know what I'm saying, weird phenomenons, weird negative phenomenons, might I add. Imagine the objects that people just curse for the hell of it and set it on somebody's property or bring it in somebody's house or put it in somebody's wallet or purse and then they don't know what's going on. A cursed object is a cursed object, last I checked. But it's like you can't just sit there and pretend to be a fan of Egyptian history and stuff, but you're playing with cursed objects every day. You just do that for fun. I don't know, y'all. I'm just giving my opinion about it. It just seems like, bro, we ain't seen nothing yet. Because people are still not willing to understand it. Kind of like the point of view I'm trying to give it from. When you no longer have respect for caution signs, for do not touch signs, for a sign that might say forbidden, because that's what I was wondering. Like, okay, because I haven't been to one of the pyramids in person yet. It is still one of my, what do I want to say, like goals? Like, come on, bro, I have a whole Egyptian name. Of course, I would like to go see the pyramids one day. What do you mean? But I would hope when I get there, like I know they tell people do not touch stuff or don't get so close. Don't get too close, just like they do at the great national wildlife parks. The warnings are for you. And it's crazy how people will still get offended or mad because of what happened to them after a warning. I try to be the type of person that that's how I feel like I was talking about this earlier, like how I don't see how people don't believe karma is real. I said I feel so familiar with karma. I know it's real. I even feel like it's a sheep. Like, how do people not believe that that's real? But anyways, that's why I was just finna give my testimony. I feel like I know karma in a new way now, because I was willing to sit with karma multiple times in my own life, like literally not only sit in my own karma when need be, but sit with WITH karma when need be, right? And then it just became a habit. Like, oh, now me and karma friends. That don't mean that I can't still get it. What you mean? But karma respects me in a way, like, you know what? This young lady took the time out to not only sit in her karma when need be, but to sit with me. Like, it's days I just call karma. Hey, karma, what you doing? Oh, I'm busy today, Sherry. You know how it is being me. And I'm like, karma, we got a lot in common. For real. Like, you just busy. That's number one. Does karma ever get a break? No, because you're gonna always have those group of people that just feel like, they're forbidden to karma. Like karma can't touch them. No, the things that are untouchable are like this place, these pyramids. And this just an example. But literally there are people that practice ancient ritualistic things that they actually knew how people was gonna be in the future or something. So they actually said special prayers over their items, their money, their what is the word I'm looking for? Because it's late at night and it's like I can't it ain't coming as fast as I want it to. But their, what is that called? Like their treasures. Like, why would you think that's what ancient Egyptians were very much known for? They don't just bury their people in a cemetery and move on with life and carry on about life insurance like other cultures do. No, they take it very serious. They invest a lot of time into having special people come in and pray over their stuff in case people want to try them. I guess I'm a speaking for the ancient Egyptians in a way that makes sense for anybody. And imagine them turning in their tombs and graves because people haven't learned yet. And I'm not talking about this story because this young man that brought this souvenir home, he was just a kid. So I'm definitely not referring to him. But that's it just show you how deep their ancient practices went as far as praying over their personal items and stuff, even after death. It shows you that they don't and once those prayers are prayed over certain people, they're just I don't know how to explain it. It's like why would you try to go touch or steal, or like if I take my kids somewhere and I know they have forbidden items around the place, that's a talk y'all need to have before you go in there. Like, hey, people be having cursed objects. Like some talks we do have, it's they're at that age where they can understand, hey, we don't want y'all taking food from just anybody. I don't care how big they're smiling, how nice they look. And they like, mommy, food? Yeah, these days and times, you can't even just trust. They've always said you can't trust candy from a stranger, but I mean, these days and times, you can't trust nothing from a stranger. They be thinking you're going to trust it because it's brand new. It still got the tag on it. That's my point. A cursed object is a cursed object. You don't know what a person did to something before they give it to you. That's not even you stealing it or touching a forbidden thing. That's just somebody trying to gift you with something. How do you really know? Lest you have discernment or intuition or something. How do you really know that when somebody gifts you with something, some kind of forbidden curse hadn't been placed over it, right? So I admit this openly, have these kind of talks with my young loved ones. Whether we talk about it or not, I told you life is the best teacher. Ain't no way you bring an object home, whether it's from Egypt or from somebody who claimed they gifted it to you. Ain't no way you bring that home and you just coincidentally start having what like misfortunes. Remember me using that word? That's a whole nother category of circumstance. Me, Arthur Tedasheri, I'm all too familiar with circumstances, unexpected ones especially, because life is going to bring them. You understand? But a coincidental circumstance and an act and a misfortune are all three different things. And you know that you just brought in an object in your home and they want you to be dumb. Like, I wonder why all this stuff started happening around me. I do try to understand dark humor, light humor, you name it, because I'm a goofy person. People probably don't know that. Like, I'm a comedian when I'm not even trying to be. Um, but I'll never find anything funny about like cursing a whole object and giving it to somebody. And then what? Calling them crazy or out of their mind because they actually begin to notice the weird stuff happening around them after they brought in their cursed object into their home. So what else are they supposed to think about it? You don't look at a gift as cursed. Nobody ever does. A gift is usually described as a nice thing to give somebody. It's so stupid. So why would you think that somebody did a whole 12-hour ritualistic prayer over their gift before they gave it to you? The average person wouldn't just think that, would they? That's why sometimes I like that I think outside the box, because if nothing else, that's why this mother in this story, she knew that it probably had something to do with that piece that they had brought from Egypt. Nobody's life is just going to start going haywire, off the chain, here and there, crazy stuff they can't explain. And then they think about it and say, wait a minute, I did bring in a foreign object into my home. One time I did, that's why it takes strength is never built overnight. That's all I'm trying to say. Any type of strength, mental strength, spiritual strength, none of that is built overnight. But I remember like actually throwing an item out before. And I knew because the type of trash I had, you had to put the bin on the corner. So everybody going to see your trash. That's just how it was. And I said, I'm gonna feel so bad that this person that gifted me this is gonna see it in the trash. And but I didn't even care, cause like if I feel like something strange is going on around me after you gave me this, I'm gonna throw it in the trash. You just gonna have to ride by and see it in the trash. What you mean? You shouldn't be looking at the trash anyway. It's so many things to it. So even when I discovered like, hey, it might be people out there that like to dumpster dive and stuff, I feel like people should be careful with that, because people do throw away all kind of things, and it's not just trash. So people might want to be careful with digging through trash. I understand how it's kind of like trendy today. There's whole channels where people go dumpster diving, TikTok channels and stuff like this. But see, I am not bougie. I just am try to be mindful, you know what I'm saying, where I pick up stuff. Because especially if the devil know that you're a person, that your cup stay overflowing, blessings just come to you, you find nice stuff all the time. That's where I had to be open-minded. But it could seem like a brand new TV at the dumpster. How you know it ain't cursed? Somebody just give you, oh, it's a nice purse, thank you. Then you start experiencing all kind of weird stuff. What you supposed to do? Call the person and ask them, hey, did you curse this? Then they gonna think you being funny. So we don't ask those type of questions. You just go off your intuition, your feelings, and say, no, I'm gonna throw this away. Like, I've tested it. I've thrown things away and saw things get better in my life. I'm not gonna lie about this. This is You Will Make It TV for a reason. You know what I mean? What else makes sense? If you bring a whole different foreign object into, I wouldn't care if it's a picture frame, a bookshelf. Let me keep going. It could be a mirror. It could be a chair. If stuff start happening around your home and to your family members, that's why I applaud this lady who shared her story on TikTok. I'm like, yeah, I hope more people start sharing them. It inspired me to come on here and talk, honestly. Because what possesses a person to sit there and curse an item and give it to you, and they know you have kids, they know you have pets, they know you love your life. For the most part, most people love their lives, and we're not talking about the things in their lives, their personal lives. Most people love their lives. That's why they're living. Life is a gift, not cursed objects. That's not ever a gift. That's why you got to watch who you steal from. You shouldn't be stealing at all. Some people, we pray over our things. We pray over our food. We pray over our furniture. We have to. And look how the world is. But some, we've been taught since like little kids, pray over your food. I never really asked when I was little, why we're taught that. You don't have to be religious to say a simple prayer of gratefulness over your food. And you shouldn't see people only doing it on Thanksgiving, if you ask me. Notice how on Thanksgiving they want to have a big prayer over the food and say we should be thankful. We've been thankful all year for our food. That's why it hurts to know that there's people out here wasting food or cursing food on purpose. I'm not finna wait till Thanksgiving to say thank you, God, for my food. You show God that when you spend your money on it. It's something you need. I just think that's stupid. And then on Thanksgiving, everybody want to get together. Yeah, let's say a special prayer before we eat. No, people should be doing that anyway over everything they possess. They say money is an energy exchange. I feel like anything you exchange is an exchange. You feel me? And anything that can be exchanged, you should pray over or something. I'm just giving my advice. You know what I'm saying? Or if I'm not led to give somebody something, or let's say somebody rejects something I try to give them, I wouldn't think anything about it. I'd be like, yeah, you're kind of like me. You're careful about who you accept things from. I wouldn't even be mad at them. At least you're paying attention. Who knows what I'm trying to give you? It's been a while since if it ain't my kids or something, for whatever reason, like that I just tangibly handed somebody something. You know what I'm saying? Like, and said, here's a gift. Because that's how I can prove that I'm really like this. more awakened to exchanges all the way around. You know what I mean? When somebody sit there like a hairdresser and do your hair, that's an exchange because you're paying that person money and they're doing you a service. Anything is an exchange though. Anything that's being traded, they call it trading and borrowing, whatever. It doesn't matter. An exchange is an exchange. And we know there's a difference between a fair, FAIR exchange and a unfair exchange, period. So they be like, I wonder what prayers, don't worry y'all, I got a prayer book coming soon. I don't know why I've been feeling like David or King Solomon or somebody lately. But, if you see that you can get a prayer through, why not help others with that? And I don't have to touch a soul at all. I don't have to hold your hand. Have to be in the vicinity of you. How about you pray the prayers and the words of this book that's coming soon, and we'll see if you break off any curses in your life. And I'm serious, because as long as your prayer is coming from a authentic place, I can't understand people who still tell me they don't believe in prayer. Maybe they haven't been through anything that caused them to need a higher power, a higher exchange. You can accept things from people, but you don't want to believe that you can receive from God. Get your mind out the gutter. Now that's your mind being in the gutter. I don't like it. Right? I'm just talking rhetorically. I don't feel anything towards anybody. But that's an exchange too. Like, hey, let me do, it's just learning the power of exchange in a new way, if I can explain it. You know what I'm saying? If people can very well exchange something with you in an unfair way, like it looks like a brand new gift, but it's really cursed. Why can't you exchange something in a fair way and actually be blessed in return? It wasn't just that you gave somebody something. You gave somebody something out of pure, undiluted love, and that was your intention. Why wouldn't you be blessed back? Even if your blessing come 5 years later and you didn't know where it was coming from. Oh, don't worry. The universe remembers when you blessed that last person out of pure love and intention. You see? But they be sitting here trying to study, how is this person's exchange? How are they getting blessings and miracles? What do you mean? Well, I'm not out here exchanging anything with anybody unfairly, consciously doing it. That's why sometimes I just laugh at the devil when people call themselves like, oh, I'm going to just blame this person. They got to be doing something to me. Ain't no way, bro. You better watch that person a little closer. Have you done any exchanges with them recently? I mean, physical, tangible exchanges with them. And if you can't prove that, how can you go back and say that person is cursing you? And people out here giving whole gifts every day. It does make you think about it, because like Christmas is literally coming up. They be doing these secret Santas and different exchange games and stuff during Christmas season. Let's be honest, people do this. And when it's at places like workplaces and stuff, though, you really don't know those people like that. And the old me wouldn't even thought this way, but now I do. And I wouldn't just want to play a Christmas game of Secret Santa, and I don't know which one of my coworkers really don't like me. She might be giving me some Bath and Body Works. She probably done put something in it, or said a cursed prayer over it, then gave it to me. So I see how Christmas is beautiful and everything, but I see how the devil probably be using like holidays like that to her. And then the next year, this person don't know, they done sat here and made a whole list of New Year's resolutions, because we all do it. And they can't figure out why they ain't checked one checkbox on their New Year's resolution. They didn't do nothing on it. And they had the pure intent when they wrote that list, because they say when you write things down, that's setting your intention too. All right, now this is getting deep. I'm just giving my little old perception about this. So when you sit there and write something like a New Year's resolution, how are you not setting your intention to make those things, those goals happen for your life? And you can't figure out, oh my God, I ain't got around to none of these goals. That's crazy. Well, who all did you accept Christmas gifts from? Just a month prior, before New Year's. You feel me? Anybody experiencing that in their life, and it seemed like the very next year just went crazy or almost similar to the last year, and they don't have one thing to prove that's different, that they actually set their goals from their New Year's resolutions, it might be something a little funny with that. Who all did you accept gifts from? And yes, guys, money is also a gift. Like, people look at Cash App as a blessing. But God showed me a little more with money apps like that. Like, don't think somebody can't set a negative intention and send you some money. And then say, well, I tried to help that person. I sent a gift. Oh, you send a person a Cash App, a PayPal, a Zelle, and they suddenly start having weird circumstances around their life? Most people just say it's a coincidence. Yeah, because I think that needs to be spoken on more. People need to know that my intentions are pure. I'm telling y'all, I'm not finna get out here to teach people, oh yeah, just use everybody with money apps and Cash Apps and PayPals. You better be careful with that too. People can set their intention literally just to send you money. I mean, if you didn't earn it at work, and some of the work money, I just rather be like, they can call it a prayer warrior, whatever they want to. I trust in God. And I'm going to pray over things when people give it to me. Or you just slowly more become the person like, you know what, God, I'm going to have to fully trust you like never before, because the way people set their intentions and claim they're helping you these days, and be trying to hide that they curse the thing that they claim they helped you with before they sent it to you. I just can't with that. I might can't change people, but I can change me, and I can say, you know what? I'm doing the rejecting now. And they like, well, the more you reject us, the more you lack. I might just have to go through that for a little while, because why willingly allow gifts to curse me? You know what I'm saying? I'm really never in a rush like people think to like just receive all the time. That's another reason I'm always be blessed, but that's another topic. Like, you literally are like that natural. Like, if you can get it on your own to the best of your ability and capabilities, without breaking no laws, without doing nothing illegal, and heaven is sitting above the Maya God, any God you think of. If they were ancient and they still here, they know, they see that about me too. It's to be respected. This person ain't even out here running around trying to take everything. Or even when this person was being gifted left and right, just because that was their natural right, or people like to do that when she was accepting gifts more often, what did she begin to notice around her? I'm not saying that it's not okay to do Secret Santas. Please do not misquote me. Secret Santa, I think that's the name of it. But it's that one thing where y'all all pick a name out of the cup, like a raffle or something. And whoever you choose, you're kind of expected to like get them a gift. I'm just saying, me personally, I wouldn't participate in it. If it's just, I can laugh at it because I just have a little more like spiritual insight and knowledge about certain things, and how people will use certain things to, like, for example, how many of you guys even check on people like shortly after you get them a gift? Do you check on them? Hey, how's your new foot massaging machine going? How is it working out for you? How is that new car I gave you? Is it running okay? That looks like a good gift giver. But if you just kind of more on some lurking stuff, like you is around, you is watching, but you ain't asked that person directly how they doing after you gifted them something, and you think they don't notice that? Because what if their response is, you know what, actually, ever since you gave hers, I've been broke. And it could have been a Gucci purse, a Louis Vuitton purse, any kind of bag. You gave me a bag that luxury. Why am I experiencing misfortunes? Come on now. I wouldn't want to accept another gift from it. If I, like I said, that's something a person can only testify about for their self. Okay? Just like with this lady with the story. She didn't have to tell us at all that her son brought back a piece from Egypt, and that misfortune started happening in her life. And even if a person tried to tell her she lied, this lady has circumstantial proof, literally. It's like they just be like, well, long as I'm not seen, I didn't do it. Just like those Egyptian ancients that they stole from. They didn't have to show their face. What you mean? They didn't have to show their face. They didn't have to rise from the dead or nothing. You just start experiencing weird misfortunes. And then it's just powerful to me how she thought on her own, maybe I should go take this back. You know? Guess what? Another thing I didn't mention, throwing something in the whole trash is a exchange. It's an exchange. Like, you set your intention. I don't want this no more. And then you go throw it in the garbage. It's a very spiritual act, just as much as it is to accept something, to throw something away. It's also a spiritual act, a very powerful spiritual act, to throw it in the whole trash. Now, the intention that you have is what matters. Why did you throw it in the trash? Not that you owe anybody an explanation. But trust me, the spirit world, they care about that, about who accepts what and who accepts what from who and who did what to what before they gave it to them and who threw it in the trash, like me. I've actually become more of a minimalist, and that's okay. Like, literally, I probably would be one of them people that if I ever do touch the status of rich, people wouldn't have knew it. I've said that for many, many years. Why would you go around? I don't know, man. Because like I said, it's exchange that I'm trying to teach on tonight. The power of exchange. Whether, depending on the intentions of both parties when something is exchanged, it's going to tell you a lot. People don't just walk around telling you their intentions every day, and we're not going to sit here and defend people like they do. They do. People do what they want to do when they're good and hot, dang ready. That doesn't mean they tell you what their intentions is with everything they do. But it's funny. People want to be respected for that, or they want that to be respected about them, but they want to know the intentions of another person 24/7. Make that make sense. Like, no, I'm going to hide my intentions, but I want to see that person's, and everywhere they move. See, I understand how, like, I'm not even trying to be funny. Things like research and investigations, I do understand what they are. But even with stuff like that, I can see the intentions sometimes on the other side. Either way, there are certain different forms of jail and isolation and what's the other word I'm looking for? Separation. Keep going to the Sherry. I did mention my name was Egyptian, right? The Egyptian gods understand me, I understand them. That doesn't mean I worship anything they talking about me out there. You know what I'm saying? Respect is respect. I literally respect some of the ancient teachings from over there. That's all I was saying. Even if God did have to bring his people out of some of those idol worship places and idol gods and things, it's like I understand both sides. That's all I was trying to say. They want to say, I think if I just copy everything this person do, my life will be set up like theirs. No. You can't copy understanding. There gotta be a real intention. You see what I'm saying? Some of the habits that I picked up, I know they're not of this world. Like, who just chooses to wake up and be an understanding person every day? Who? You know what I'm saying? Go get them so I can meet them. I need to be around people like me. Who wakes up and say, I want to be understanding. I want to be humble. Like, that didn't come from this world to me. And then, because you walk such a narrow path like that, because not just the average person chooses to be understanding every day. Everybody got something to say about how you should respond to everything. That's just the way that society is. Well, the average person, when they're hurt, they cry. The average person, when they see this going on, they intervene. The average person would have put on socks with their shoes. Okay, but you're going to say a person is strange because they take the time out to literally, because understanding don't come overnight either. How do you understand? Line upon line, precept upon precept, a little study, a little study, a little study. Nobody just knew everything overnight. That's my point. So understanding is nothing that we can copy or try to pretend to be. That's like a process that's respected. Like, you know what? That person might ain't got a lot of money. That person might not accept a lot of gifts from people. That person might not even be gifted all the way. But one thing I can say that person has is a lot of understanding. I can say that I have proof of somebody like me putting that time and work into becoming more of an understanding person. So Depending on the type of person you are, yes, you're going to look different to people. I just did a quote where I said everybody might not like what you're doing or understand what you're doing, especially when it's never been done before. They forget that part. They'll just say what you shouldn't be doing, and it's so silly. But see, I can laugh at it, y'all, because like I said, I'm really an understanding person. I'm not saying it for clout or nothing. Understanding does not mean you agree with everything. It does not mean you stand for everything. Understanding, leave it alone. It's a category of its own. How can you not become more knowledgeable, more intelligent, more elevated, just being an understanding person? And no, nobody taught me this. Remember I said life is the best teacher. You thought you was just being little old doll you, but no, God said, no, I'm seeing that. Not just God, the gods. They said, no, we noticing that. You understand it? We ain't seen a person like that since the ancients. Because people are more quick-tempered and more quick reactive than they know. It's not me trying to make this a competition or point out anybody's faults. My main desire is for the whole world to be a better place, like a lot of people's is. And some of it you just see like, man, if I could just get out what I understand to people, if I could find a way, whether it's through AI, through a book, through a poem, it doesn't matter. How can I put this out here to people that, look, man, if we all take a little more time to be a little bit more understanding. So even like I said, I've never been to Egypt and stuff like this, but I know enough that if we ever go over there, if I didn't purchase that item, and I don't mean like around, I don't want to take anything from the pyramids. I don't want to even take a grain of salt from, I'ma just respect it too much. I'm gonna take my shoes off to walk in the temples. They'll be shocked how much, if I came over there, how much I'll be doing. Like, oh, you knew to do that? Yes, let me take my shoes off, wash my feet. This ain't like the churches in America where I just walk in here with what I got on. Let me make sure I wash my hands, wash my feet, let the people anoint my head, then walk over here in this temple, right? Understanding. That doesn't mean that you agree with how somebody do things. I just feel like people so quick to like reveal and show, this is what I think should have been done. All you're showing is that you have a lack of understanding. You have a lack of patience if you have a lack of understanding. Because see, understanding is going to take a whole lot of patience. How you learning something and you didn't even take the time out to learn it. To understand it. All right, y'all. Sorry, I got a little carried away with my opinion. But I'm going back to the article because this is a real story. For those that might just be tuning in, we're talking about this family whose young son brought home a piece of the pyramid and behind his parents' back. It wasn't like he trying to hide it. He probably just thought it was like a little souvenir or something, you know? And how the family began to experience weird phenomenons after he did it. She explained how it all began. I'm reading back from the article now. If you're new here, a year and a half ago, my oldest son went to Egypt and brought home what he said was a piece of the pyramid. He said he broke it off and brought it home. Immediately recognizing the potential consequences, she recalled telling him, you have to send it back. It needs to be back from where it came. It does not belong here with us. Despite her warning, the family experienced a series of misfortunes that she attributes to the stolen piece. After he brought that back, our family has been cursed with nothing but bad luck. I mean, just read this. Just listen to it. And terrible things have happened. So you're not going to tell me people can't give you a gift. This is just them taking something. Whether it's taken, gifted, it doesn't matter. All we should understand is that cursed objects are real, if you ask me. And it's crazy, the intention set for why they curse the things that come with the pyramids makes sense. It's theirs to curse. It's more sinister to sit there and curse something. Once again, it goes back to the intention and then gift it to somebody. Come on, man. That's what this story teaches us, in my opinion. Her warnings were often dismissed by her family, who would call her crazy and make fun of her. I'm reading this verbatim. We had deaths, we had cancer, we had hospitals. She said, this happened. Every time something bad happened, I was like, we have to get that piece of the pyramid gone. She shared some of the hardships her family endured. And just these three things I read sound pretty serious. Let me go back. What did it say? She said deaths. Like death is serious, bro. They started experiencing sudden deaths. Sudden deaths. But everybody was fine before he brought this object home. She said cancer. That's serious. That's like death like illness. And then she said hospitalizations. She said every time something bad happened, she knew that, her new intention was just to make sure that they got home, got back to where it came from. So I feel like she's a very wise lady or whatever. And I'm not even being funny. This is just my paying my respects to this trending story right now. She shared some of the hardships her family endured. She said her son ended up having infections in both feet. This what started to sadden me. And really, what did I say? I'm an understanding person. Like, why would I judge this family? Why would I judge what she went through? Like, okay, it says, my son ended up having infections in both feet. He had osteomyelitis and ended up having to remove half of his foot. My God. My mother-in-law found out she was what? She had inoperable liver cancer and began treatment to extend her life. That's a lot of different back-to-back circumstances. I just want people to be more aware. I'm not saying let's normalize misfortunes in people's lives. I'm saying let's normalize when people are seeking help because they notice those misfortunes. Because you can't pay me to believe a person just wake up one morning and misfortunes started happening everywhere. Okay? Then if you have more people awakened and conscious and actually being in an understanding place to say, oh my God, I wonder why these back-to-back misfortunes are happening to somebody. That's how the world should be, in my opinion. Of course, if you bury a person with misfortunes, you don't get the chance to, like a lot of these stories on the news, y'all. I really personally believe that these people were experiencing other things back to back to back before it even got as severe as it did. We probably would see that. But people don't take the time out to look at that. Oh, a misfortune happened. Well, it must have just been a coincidence. Get out of here. Get out of here. Let people tell their stories. It says an effort. This the last part of the article anyway, and the most important part. But it says an effort to return the peace, and it's spelled Piece. Okay. Ever since her son passed, however, she has been determined to. What her son passed? I told y'all. I read the part about his foot, but I didn't know he passed. It says ever since her son passed, however, she has been determined to return the artifact to its rightful place. The video, she showed the piece while carefully wrapping it, hoping that the museum in Egypt would accept it along with her handwritten apology. How thoughtful, because intentions do matter. Especially when you look at the ancient beliefs of Egyptians, like intentions are a whole thing. why I'm talking about this now, man. This is very real. Uh 3 months after returning the item. What? 3 months after returning the item, she's still weirdly in possession of that chunk, she admitted. Although the piece reached Egypt, it remained unclaimed. She and her husband have now decided to return it themselves, emphasizing that they do not want it in their home. She also shared that she avoided looking at it, wow, even before her son's passings. The TikTok video also sparked numerous comments from viewers who shared experiences or beliefs. Unfortunately, do y'all think that's a coincidence though that he just happened to pass away? Let me see. Others shared personal tragedies with one saying, "My brother brought home something from the Mexican pyramids and he passed away very young." Another added, "3 years ago when I went to Egypt, they told us we can't bring home any rocks that were close to the pyramids. It brings death to families. So I am happy that you're getting rid of it and I'm sorry for your loss." This story serves as both a cautionary tale and a reminder of the cultural and ethical responsibilities surrounding ancient artifacts. It combines legal, historical, and supernatural warnings, illustrating how centuries old beliefs persist even in modern day times. Uh, that's crazy. I didn't even mean to come across this, but it says related articles, right? Viral video claims a Noah's Ark of Doom is being built in Ghana ahead of a 3 year flood. Real or AI hoax? Stuff like this, right? In modern day times, if people see somebody building an ark, they would probably do the same thing they did. And it's crazy to think about. They would probably do the same thing they did in Noah's day and just mock the person who's building the ark. Like I don't know what it is about mankind with this. You know, they do not respect caution, warning, prophecy, like foretold things that are whole warnings, bro. And I can understand that, but I don't understand like trying to force everybody to be with it. You know what I mean? No, if some of us want to take heed to warnings and move out the way, leave them alone. We'll see who's crazy. Leave them alone. Because see, curses and people cursing themselves, curses are so real though. Uh they can affect, just like this story is showing us. It was one person who brought it home, but everybody in his family end up like, this is crazy, bro. Like people that were close to him, that didn't even go to Egypt ended up like affected, obviously, by what he brought home. It's crazy. A whole tangible piece of rock. But it does say that I guess the tourists out there, sorry y'all, that's my ringtone. The tourists out there do kind of forewarn people not to do that. You're just gonna always have thrill seekers that say, let me try this anyway. Ain't that crazy? It's really strange. Thank you, Oliver7820. Thank you for your support in the live chat. What do you guys think? Like, do you think this is just a coincidence, or it says that they told them at the pyramid while they was on tour, a curse is set to protect the resting places of Egypt. Okay? Oh, of Egypt's pharaohs and preserve their legacy. That's why I think it's very real. That's why they have movies about it. And each and every one of those movies, they do the same dumb stuff. They get greedy. They try to, oh, I'm gonna just take one piece of gold. Nobody will know. And it's crazy. Like, do you not believe in ancient Egypt religions and stuff? Cause just cause somebody didn't see you take the piece of gold, what do you think? What do you think? What the ancients saw you? That's crazy. And it's just a place that probably has experienced a lot of theft and robbery over the years. I don't even know why I said probably. It's so sad. See, we can't forget that part too. Like, long before modern day times, people were stealing from Egypt, and stuff like random sudden plagues like COVID-19, right? It make you think about it. Like, what did somebody do? How does a sickness affect the whole world, but it ain't happen again? Well, at least yet. Or was COVID like some kind of distraction or cover up of some other plague? Like, it just makes you wonder. Most times when a person have cursed themselves because they touched the wrong thing, I promise y'all, there's like so many other innocent people, just like in the movie The Mummy, who get terrorized. Uh, just they go through unbelievable things and they don't even be knowing why. If you think about a lot of these haunted movies, it's something that, and just like with this story, it was her son. It's like something that the youth got a hold of, or they didn't know was forbidden, or they didn't know, like, hey, you don't play with this. That's why I preach that it's okay and imperative, and if it's okay to like allow your kids to play with cursed things, why can't you give them a chance to get to know who God is? Who who would lead and actually guide and you know what I'm saying, want children to know that, hey, certain things are untouchable. I blessed you with hands. You have free will. I created every mankind with hands. So, of course, you can touch it if you want to. But what do we think caution signs, warnings, and stuff like that is about? Like, once again, I have an understanding because there have been warnings that came to me in life about stuff. Whole warnings, bro. And you might have been blessed to persevere through whatever it was because you didn't listen, but who would want to keep going through that at that point? You living life on the edge. You're never living life on the edge. I guess you are living by faith. That's on the edge, but that's a healthy on the edge. Living on the edge, just ignoring warnings forever. You can't get mad at nobody at what comes to you. That's like saying you can touch anything. No, I don't care who you are. Go over there and steal from them pyramids. I think a lot of things that are transpiring today, people are like, oh, the world getting so bad. It ain't getting bad. I think that a lot of like earthly judgment is just due. We don't know who all been stealing from over there, over all these generations. Not just stealing from over there, like tangible artifacts, but also probably holding the people captive that are from bloodlines over there and stuff like this. We can keep trying to ignore it, but then life circumstances teach you. Remember what I said at the beginning of the stream? Life circumstances going to teach people better. Like people that think they can just go take from Egypt or Mexico or ancient sacred places. And if a place can be sacred, a place can be sacred. Imagine a person. You know what I mean? A person's soul, a person's bloodline, a person's lifeline, a person's connection to God. I would say that's pretty sacred. Not secret, but sacred. SACRED. It's like the devil went hiding somewhere and told himself, I want to overcome and take over everything that's sacred. It just sounds stupid because if it's already sacred, how you going to overtake that? It's not just, it's stupid. You know what I mean? If it's already sacred or anointed or covered by something that has nothing to do with you, who do you think you are to just go touch it? You know, thank you for your positive words as well. I wasn't trying to tell people they have to worry about their coworkers and stuff like that. I'm just saying I think people should be more mindful with what you call exchanges. Anybody gonna think you a good person because you gave them something for absolutely free. That's what a gift is. But gifts can be cursed. It is what it is. How do they become cursed? A person sat there and cursed it. But they talking about giving gifts. Giving gifts for Christmas, like just watch who you accept stuff from. You know what I mean? People should be mindful of that. Especially when they're giving it to your children. That's why I just will forever be a firm believer that you shouldn't even be giving people children stuff without the knowledge of their parents. That's already a strike. But you want me to believe that what you gave them couldn't have possibly been cursed. Why wouldn't I believe that? You didn't even want me to know you gave them anything. People should watch stuff like that. I don't know, because if it's a gift, why can't your mom know you're getting it? Dad know you're getting it. Right? Any gift somebody tell you, don't tell nobody I gave you this, you got to kind of watch that. I never thought about it before, but why can't, if it's a gift, why can't I tell nobody about it? What if some of these gifts come with repercussions? You know what I'm saying? That's the difference, though, between a blessing and a gift. People walk around here talking about they gifted people. Even the Bible says gifts are given without repentance. You could be a gifted person, but how do you use your gift? How are you gifting others with your gift? Through curses? Anyways, like I do believe a lot of the ancient gods they say they believe so much in will be forced maybe to even show themselves, like, because people think this is a game. It's like making them look like anything. Like all the gods that ever exist only cared about cursing people. That's crazy. It looks to me like people be bringing this kind of stuff on themselves, touching sacred things, touching sacred people, touching sacred places. You know? Thank you guys for tuning in to another live insightful topic. I just wanted to come give my commentary and reaction to this. I'm not going to carry on with my opinion. I do say condolences to the family that lost anybody because I just feel like everybody life is a story pretty much. We all got a story, but like some of these things transpire for the rest of us to learn. People actually see, that's another thing that get me. They'll see what happened to another person and still go try to touch a sacred thing. But life is the best teacher. That's where I'm going to close this out at. You guys have a beautiful Wednesday out there. Remember to tune in to some of our inspirational quotes. If you haven't already, go through and check those out. Give us a like, a comment, a share. We do appreciate your support. And until next time.